This is Thursday's homework. See, this is Thursday, October 26th for Dylan's math class. Let's begin. All right. We're starting with number 1. Adriana drew a number line to show the distance in kilometers between her house and her friend Marla's house. Adriana's number line is shown below. Now, before we get too far into this answer they give I don't think is correct. So we're going to work the problem and see what we come up with, and then we'll check it with the answers, okay? So we can notice here, examine this. This is 0.5 and this is 1. So we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So from 0 to 1 is divided into 10 pieces, 10 parts. Again, this is the corresponding fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can basically just carry this over, logically carry it over. So this is 0.5. This has to be 0.1. So 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. Again, this is all preceded by 0. 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, and then finally 1 whole. So which fraction in decimal represents the distance in kilometers from Adriana's house to Marla's house? Like I said, this is 0.9. So we can see this mark here is 0.9. So it's between 0.8 and 0.9. Oops, sorry, that's what I did. This is 0.9. So somewhere between 0.8 through 0.9, right? That's where our answer lies. Now, the answers they give don't seem to correspond correctly. Well, we're looking for, again, somewhere between 0.8 and 0.9. We can look at this number here, the second number, and recognize that what we're looking for is not given in the second answer. So with that, can automatically, since none of these are point anything, from A, B, and C, we can see the second number is not point anything. It's 7. It's a whole number followed by a decimal number. I can cross this one out, this one out, this one out. The only one that comes even remotely close is this one. So these are all wrong. This is the closest it's going to come to it. Even that, though, is not correct. Again, if we were to estimate this, it's like it's closer to. So imagine this is this is 0.8, 0.9. It's somewhere over here, right, on the number line. So that means it's got to be 0.8, maybe 0.86, 0.87, something like 0.87 maybe is what I would guess. Which is not the answer they gave, but this is the closest that comes to it. So you know what, for the sake of not arguing with the teacher, but you should definitely bring this up to the teacher. Bring this up to the teacher. I think his name is Mr. Saavedra. So this is the answer they want, but this is not. Even this is incorrect. None of the answers are correct, but this is one that comes closest to it. All right. So, and this is the answer I think they want you to have, but this is not even this is incorrect either. So we're bringing this up to the teacher, right? That's number 1. On to number 2. On the number lines below, the distance between 0 and 1 represents 1 mile. They're giving us this information. On which number line does point Z, this is point Z here, and they all have it. Z, 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 they all have point Z's. On which number line does point Z represent a distance of 0.35 miles? So you want us to examine all of these and figure out which one represent which one of these answers, the mark Z, correctly corresponds to this number, 0.35. All right. So let's examine it. So we're gonna quickly just divide it, just examine each one. So we're gonna notice that from all of them, they're broken into 10 parts. We're gonna count them: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then finally 10 for the whole. So all these are broken up into 10 pieces, 10 parts. Same thing with G, H, and J. I think I missed J. Anyway, so knowing that, we're going to count them again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is between the 4th and the 5th spot. So again, we can examine that all these are broken up into from 10 parts of one whole. That means they're tenths with 0.1. All of these parts represent 0.1 between each space. So this would be 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, and so on down the line. Well, we can see this is between 0.4 and 0.5. The first this F answer is between 0.4 and 0.5. That is not 3.35 is not between 0.4 and 0.5. So we know that's not the answer. Let's go to the next one. And we're looking for 0.35. Let's look at G. So this is between 1, 2, 3. So this is between 0.3 and 0.4. Right, this is 0.3, this is 0.4. And that looks to be right smack in the middle. So this looks like the G looks like it's our answer. So we're going to circle that for now and just examine the rest of it. So this is just for the sake of exercise. Again, this is 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. Well, we can see that this mark Z is in between 0.2 and 0.3. 0.35 is not in between these numbers, so that is not the answer either. Now let's look at this one. 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. Well, the Z point is directly over the 0.3, so this isn't our answer. So again, we go back to G. This is our answer right here, so we can confirm that. And that's number 2. And on to number 3. Devin conducts a science investigation to find the distance in inches covered by a snail. See, there's a snail right there. In 1 minute, he creates this number line to display the results. Let's examine this figure they've given us. So from 0 to 0.1. So and they divide it. Again, this is typically what you're going to see in most of these math homeworks and math exams. That they're divided into 10 equal parts. So we're going to make sure that that's actually accurate. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then finally 10 for the whole. All right, so we can notice that they give us the 0.05. So this is let's remember this digit right here is hundredths. Because it's in the second digit. If it was this digit we were examining, this first digit, the 0 right here, that would be tenths, which is what this is represented by. This 0.1 is tenths. Now if we wanted to extend this out to hundredths, it would be 0.010, right? So basically it's from 1 to 10. And again, we can see this is you see this, if you were to block out just the number, the decimal 0 and the decimal point, you'd see 10. The same thing with this one, 5, and then so on. That is sort of an easy way to get away with doing these kinds of problems. So, knowing that, this is divided into 100. So logically speaking, we're going to divide this into 10 pieces. Again, this is 0.05. This has to be 0.01. See how we did that? And the second point is 0.02, 0.03, 0.04. They gave us 0.05. 0.06 for this one, right? 0.6. This one's 0.07. This one will be 0.08. This one will be 0.09, and then finally 0.10 for 10. So you see how that works with 0.1, 0.2, and so on. So that's how we examine it. So we can tell that this snail is underneath which mark? It's above rather. Which mark? 0.08. So that's how so it helps to examine these things first. All right. So that's where the snail is at, right above the 0.08. You can see that right there. So now let's look at the question. According to Devin's number line, what distance from the starting point labeled 0? So what distance from here to here did the snail travel in 1 minute? So we already know our answer is 0.08. We examined this already. So the point, we're looking for something that corresponds. One of these is equal to 0.08. Now again, remember we said this first digit here represents tenths. The second digit here, the 8, represents what? Hundredths, right? Did I spell that right? Who knows? So one of these, so we're looking for something that has the number 100 as the denominator. So 10, this is the denominator right here. This bottom number is the denominator. That's we want that to be say 100. Knowing that, we can easily examine. We can easily cross this one out because it's got the 10 underneath it, and this one out because it's got the 10 underneath it. That is, though we already know those are not the answers we're looking for. We're not looking for tenths, we're looking for hundredths, right? So 80 out of 100. So again, remember this is two digits. We're looking for something that corresponds to a denominator with 100 underneath it. This is, again, look at this number here. This 8. How many there are? 8 hundredths, right? 8 hundredths. Oops. 8 hundredths. Now, if this number was this, then we would say 80, because you see how this is 808 is 8. This is a different number. This is 80 hundredths. So knowing that, remember we're looking for 8 hundredths, not 80. This is 80. This is 8. This is not our answer because we only have 8, not 80. So this is our answer. See how that corresponds? 8 hundredths. So you're going to examine the second digit. Again, if this was 80, like that, right? 0.80, then this would be the answer. But it's not. This is not what they gave us. They gave us this. We figure that out through this up here, 0.08. So 8 hundredths. Again, this is our answer, not this. Right? Easy. If you have any questions, review the video again. You can leave a comment, I suppose. I don't know if I have that on or not, but all right. So that's our homework for Thursday, October 26th. Thanks, guys. Boy, this is how you know you're getting old. Oops. When you don't finish your homework and you think it's Friday and you think you were done. I didn't do number 4, and I'm about to do it, so let's go. So again, I'm sorry, I thought the last question was the last question. And so now in any case, we're going to do number 4 now. This is the final question. The quarterback of the football team threw a long pass from the goal line. The pass traveled 62 over 100. 62 hundredths is another way to read that. 62 hundredths, the length of the football field. Which number line shows a point that represents the distance from this distance from the goal line? So we're looking for something between. So something that represents this 62 over 100. Now that we can write this out before we get into the answers. We can tell they're giving us decimal points, right? So 62 over 100 can be written one of two ways. This is one of them, 62 over 100. The other way is with a decimal point. So in order to do that, we're gonna try to remember something. So 0.0, this first digit here, when you write decimal points, write this a little better. So 0.000. So we're just gonna. This is not a real decimal number. This has nothing to do with that. We're just gonna remember something. This first digit here represents tenths. See that? This second digit here represents hundredths. Did I spell right? It seems like there should be a D in there or something. Anyway, so this second digit here represents hundreds. So this is this third one here represents thousandths. That's right. You're right. There should be a D in there. Anyway, so we want a number that has these two numbers in it, these two digits in it. We don't need a third digit. So we want something to look something to the effect of 0.00, 2 digits after the decimal point on the right. That's what we want our number to look, because the reason we know that is because the number 100 is underneath the 62. That's the denominator. We want that's telling us basically there should be 2 digits after the decimal point to give us the answer we're looking for. All right. So now, So now remembering that, so we want something to be 0 point something something, right? 2 digits after the decimal point on the right side. That's what our number should look like. Okay. So now knowing that, basically we can say, okay, we know what it's going to supposed to look like. It's supposed to look like 6.62. That's basically 62 hundredths. Again, we know that the tenths, hundredths, and there's 62 of them. So that's the way we want our answer down here to look something like that. Okay. So now let's look at F. This point right here, see 0.4. This can logically say 0.5. So this point, this dot here they put it here, is in between 0.5 and 0.6. Well, 0.62 is not in between these two numbers, so we know this is not our answer. 0.62 is going to be somewhere between 0.6 and 0.7. Not this. This is not where it's going to fall. So F is wrong. When we're looking for something between 0.6 and 0.7. Write that over here, 0.6 through 0.7. This dot here has to fall in between somewhere in between those 2 points. This one, again, this is the same as G, seems like. So this is 0.5. Right, again, this one falls between 0.5 and 0.6. We already said that's not what we're looking for, so this is wrong too. And it has to be between these 2 points, 0.6 and 0.7. Uh-oh. This is close. H is pretty close. So again, this is 0.6, or 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7. This one is in between 0.6 and 0.7, but look where the dot's at. Let me just erase this for a second, just so we can get a better view. See where this dot is at? It's closer to 0.7. So this, if we had to estimate this, we would say it's probably 0.69 is what I would guess, because it's so close to the line of 0.7. Again, this line here, 0.7. So it's pretty darn close to 0.7. So it's got to be 0.69 or something to that effect. While that's close, we're gonna leave that one alone because it could be that one. It could just be a typo. We're gonna examine the letter J just to be sure, right? So now again, we're gonna 0.1, 2, 3, 4, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6. Where you can see that this line represents 0.6. This one represents, what do we say? 0.7. So this is also between 0.6 and 0.7. But look at where it's telling me to zoom in. Can I zoom in on it? I can't. So basically, this is how it looks. So this is 0.6, and there's the number line. I'm just making this larger. The next one, 0.7. And this dot here is like right close to the line, right? It's pretty darn close. So this one here looks much closer to 0.62. Which is what we were looking for. Remember we said that earlier, 62.62, that's what we're looking for. This is much closer. This dot here is much closer than this one. This is when we said this line right here, H, was almost, we guessed at 0.69 or 0.68 maybe. Definitely not 0.62. This is much closer. So this one is our answer. This is our answer. So this has got to be it. So we can easily cross this one out. So we know J is the answer because, like we said, it's much closer. Okay, and that was the final question. All right. So again, I said earlier you can review the videos if you want. I inadvertently thought that number 3 was the last question. Anyway, this is number 4. This is the final question. All right. Everyone have a nice weekend. If we don't talk, this is for Dylan. I'm sorry. If we don't talk, little dude. Hopefully we'll talk this weekend. Okay. All right. Have a nice day, everybody. Bye.